What is up, everyone? This video is hopefully going to open your eyes a little bit, but we're also going to be having some fun. Now, I've talked about this in a bunch of my past videos, but I've never really gone in depth, and it's going to be about wearing women's clothing. Now, if you follow Tim, he made a video about this about 2 months ago. Tim, you beat me to it. I'm upset about it. But we have a lot of similar ideas. So, why women's clothing? And the first one being, the main reason for me really is simply because I'm short. You know, I'm only 5'6", and let's be honest, men's clothing is geared towards the taller people. That's just the way it is. It's the hand that I was dealt. And all the short people out there, they kind of, you know, feel the pain. Here's a quick example for you guys. I wear a size small in sweaters, jackets, all that kind of stuff. You go to a department store and you look for a jacket or a sweater. That jacket or the sweater is going to be hitting me like mid-thigh, dang near my kneecap. That's just way too long and it just doesn't work. With women's clothing, especially the sweaters, especially the tops, especially the jackets and the coats, they fit me absolutely perfect because on average women are of smaller stature, and I just so happen to be of that stature as well. So wearing those women's sweaters, women's jackets, you'll never know that they were for, you know, traditionally women's wear, but you throw that bad boy on and there you go. You have a perfectly fitting sweater, a perfectly fitting jacket, a perfectly fitted coat. So that's why I like shopping in the women's section for sizing. Reason number 2, simply because it's just more interesting. With menswear, I've said this so many times on this channel, it is so repetitive. You see the same thing literally everywhere, and it's just very limiting. You don't have much in terms of different styles, different silhouettes, different cuts. It's all kind of just, it's kind of cookie cutter, you know what I mean? It gets boring. Like every single brand will have the same stuff. Here's a blue crew neck sweater, here's a black crew neck sweater, here's a white one, here's a pair of chinos, here's a pair of denim, here's a pair of jeans. They're all the same with just a different name on it. That's pretty much what menswear is in a nutshell. Now, women's wear, on the other hand, if you look on Instagram, you look on Pinterest, you look anywhere where you can see women's style, that's all that needs to be said. There's no more that needs to be said. It's a plethora. There's an infinite amount of styles, interesting looks, and just variety that you can choose from. And actually, since I have you here, let's head to the computer so I can show you some things and a little bit of my mindset when it comes to shopping the women's section. Now, when it comes to women's clothing, I love to look at vintage pieces and also normal places like Zara and other things like that. So, what I'm looking for when I get on the computer are coats, jackets, as you can see right here, and sweaters. Sometimes pants too, depends.
So the first place I look usually is Zara, just because their knitwear is typically more modern and contemporary. This is the one that I have that I showed you guys. It looks amazing, and one pro tip is you can use their size guide to make sure that it will fit you. Typically a large fits me and I wear a small in men's, so you can just kind of base it off these measurements right here. Another sweater that I think is really dope that has this huge funnel neck, a big zip in the front, and some stripes. I think you can't go wrong with it. And my favorite thing on here is this coat. I'm waiting for it to go on sale, but this is something that I absolutely love. It is just a statement piece, but you just don't see this in the men's section anywhere. But you wouldn't really know that it's a woman's coat unless you're looking for it in the women's section. So that is why you can find some amazing steals. Now we move on to cost, and this is definitely a more modern, contemporary style for you guys. Once again, you can look at the measurements and you can see everything that you need to see to make sure it fits, but this is just a really awesome detailed mesh vest. They have a ton of cardigans that you could use that no one would ever know anything about, nice and chunky, and usually they're a little bit more cropped, so if you like that cropped look, these are perfect. And their jackets are amazing. This is more of a cropped blazer, cropped bomber jacket, but if you like that look and you have high-waisted trousers, I think this could look absolutely amazing, and you could have a really kind of like high fashion kind of look to your outfit.
Okay, so now that you've seen some of the shopping and my mindset behind what I look for, these are some of the picks that I have just in my wardrobe. And honestly, you guys would have never known that these were from the women's section unless I just told you. And 95% of you guys absolutely love these pieces from my Instagram, like this sweater, this jacket right here. So hopefully this opens your eyes a little bit and helps you expand on your wardrobe and also expand on your own little personal style. So let's get these outfits going. Actually, if you guys want to see a live shopping haul of some of the women's clothing, I can do a video on that too. I'll shop for you guys, with you guys, and then I'll put some outfits together just to show you guys that it's pretty simple. Okay, outfit time.
So the first outfit is honestly my favorite way to wear a varsity jacket. This is actually a women's varsity jacket. It's from some sorority back in the 50s and 60s. I just like to wear them with trousers and boots. But if you really want, maybe, I don't know, ask your grandma. She might have something in the closet. Or say thank you to Barbara or Nancy or Bella or whoever it might be that you find this jacket from on Etsy or eBay. Outfit number 2 is that sweater that I told you about. As you can tell, it has a somewhat cropped look, but honestly this is the exact way that a sweater should fit in my opinion. It has amazing details on this V-neck large lapel collar and these 2 pockets in the front. But when I get a men's sweater, usually they're about halfway down my thigh compared to where this one is right now. So this is absolutely perfect. You wouldn't even be able to know that this was a woman's sweater, so there you go. And this is a size large. Once again, another sweater from Zara. I love this one because it's super breathy and airy, but it also has amazing details in the colors and the pattern. You won't find this in the menswear section anywhere really that I've seen. So when you look in the women's section, typically, like I said, they just have so much more variety, so much more style, and so much more things that you could do with it. Next is a vintage shirt that I found at some vintage shop in San Francisco, and this thing is honestly the softest shirt I've ever found. It has awesome embroidery on the collar, and honestly you can wear this as a shirt just untucked, and it gives you that very kind of like casual but also classy look that you would really never know, especially when it's unbuttoned. And last but not least, we have this women's coat from the Uniqlo section. Daniel actually got me hooked on this thing, and the men's coat would just be so much longer. It would be dragging on the floor. And while this one is long, I admit, it has a completely different style and a completely different look. The lapels are wide. Everything about this coat is so much better than the men's one, and that is why I love it. You get way more versatility, and I just would get so much more wear out of this one simply because I like it more. And there you guys go. Alright you guys, so obviously a lot of these outfits aren't necessarily meant for the summertime. This is just a video in general that you shouldn't overlook the women's section when you're trying to come up with cool outfits or expand your wardrobe and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, hopefully this gave you guys some inspiration. Hopefully it also opened your eyes to step outside your comfort zone. If you thought, guys can't shop in the women's section, trust me, a lot more people do it than you think. And a lot of women shop in the men's section, so you know, it's not that big of a deal. But in general, I think it's a good idea. Also, for some reason, women's clothing tends to be a little bit cheaper as well. So keep that in mind. Hopefully this helped you guys, and I'll be talking to you hopefully soon. All right, bye.